In the ancient kingdom of Moab, ruled by King Balak, a great fear had begun to spread. The Israelites, under the leadership of Moses, were advancing through the land, conquering cities and territories. Having witnessed the fall of neighboring kingdoms, King Balak grew desperate. He knew the Israelites' God was powerful and his own kingdom seemed helpless in the face of their growing strength. King Balak, seeking to weaken the Israelites, sent for a man known throughout the region for his ability to call down blessings or curses. Balaam the prophet had a reputation for speaking the word of God with power. King Balak sent a delegation of elders offering Balaam riches, honor, and authority if he would come and curse the Israelites, thus ensuring Moab's victory. When the messengers arrived, they presented their offer to Balaam, promising him wealth and honor. But Balaam, after hearing their request, did not immediately accept. Instead, he turned to God for counsel. Balaam prayed, "Shall I go with these men? Should I curse Israel for the king?" And the Lord spoke to Balaam, warning him, "Do not go with them. You must not curse these people, for they are blessed." Balaam knew he must obey God's command, and so he sent the messengers back to King Balak, telling them that God had forbidden him from cursing Israel. But King Balak would not give up so easily. He sent even more prestigious and wealthier messengers with a stronger appeal, urging Balaam to come and offering him great rewards. Balaam, though resolute, was intrigued by the offer. Balaam's curiosity began to grow, and he asked God again, "Shall I go with them?" This time God answered differently, "Go with them, but only do what I tell you." So Balaam, despite knowing God had not initially given him permission, mounted his donkey and set off with the messengers toward Moab. As Balaam traveled on the road, his heart was torn between following God's guidance and the temptation of wealth. But the Lord, who knew Balaam's heart, had not forgotten him. Along the road, an unexpected event unfolded. As Balaam was riding on his donkey, an angel of the Lord appeared in front of them, standing in the narrow path with a sword drawn. The donkey saw the angel and immediately turned off the path, moving into a field. Balaam, unaware of the angel, struck the donkey with his staff, trying to force it back onto the path. But the donkey refused to move, so Balaam struck it again. The scene grew even stranger. The donkey, seeing Balaam's anger, spoke, "What have I done to you that you have beaten me these 3 times? The donkey asked. Balaam, not realizing the gravity of the moment, answered angrily, "You have made a fool of me. If I had a sword in my hand, I would kill you right now." The donkey, perhaps with more patience than Balaam, responded, "Am I not your donkey, which you have ridden all your life? Have I ever done this to you before?" Balaam, still not understanding the message, replied, "No." At that moment, God opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, with a drawn sword ready to strike him down. The angel said, "I have come here to oppose you because your path is reckless before me. If your donkey had not turned away, I would have killed you and let her leave." Balaam, trembling with fear, fell to the ground and said, "I have sinned. I did not realize you were standing in my way. If it displeases you, I will turn back." But the angel, in God's mercy, did not punish Balaam. Instead, he told him, "Go with the men, but speak only what I tell you." When Balaam arrived at King Balak's palace, the king eagerly took him to the high places where he could see the Israelites camp below. Balak, frustrated that Balaam had not yet cursed Israel, took him to 3 different locations, each time asking Balaam to curse Israel. Balaam, however, could not act outside of God's will. He opened his mouth not to curse Israel but to bless them. The first prophecy he spoke over Israel was a declaration of their divine favor. "How beautiful are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel." Balaam prophesied. He spoke of Israel's future triumphs and blessings, declaring that no curse could stand against them because they were God's chosen people. King Balak, infuriated by Balaam's words, urged him to curse Israel again. But Balaam, knowing he could speak only the words God gave him, spoke again. "I cannot curse what God has blessed. God is not a man that he should lie. What he has promised, he will surely do." Each time Balak asked for a curse, Balaam spoke a blessing over Israel. With every prophetic utterance, he foretold Israel's victory, prosperity, and the coming of a powerful king who would defeat their enemies. Balak's frustration grew, but Balaam remained firm. He could not be swayed from speaking God's truth. Though Balaam's words blessed Israel, his later actions proved his ultimate downfall. The Bible tells us that Balaam, despite his initial obedience, later counseled King Balak to entice the Israelites into sin. He advised Balak to send Moabite women into the Israelite camp to lead them into idolatry and immorality, knowing that this would bring God's judgment upon them. Balaam's greed and desire for wealth led him to compromise his integrity. His desire to please Balak and gain wealth clouded his judgment, and as a result, Israel faced a great trial. Balaam's name became synonymous with deceit and greed, and he is later mentioned in the New Testament as an example of those who led others into sin for personal gain in Revelation chapter 2 verse 14 and 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 15. Balaam's story serves as a powerful reminder of the dangers of allowing personal desires, especially greed, to lead us from God's will. While Balaam spoke blessings over Israel and was obedient in that moment, his later actions showed that his heart was not fully devoted to God. He allowed himself to be swayed by riches, and as a result, he led others to sin. The story also emphasizes the importance of listening to God's voice. Balaam's eyes were open only when God intervened. Through the donkey and the angel, God used an unexpected method to warn him and turn him back to his will. We are reminded that God speaks to us in various ways, and sometimes even through circumstances we may not expect. Are you listening to God's voice in your life, or are you following his path? Or are you being tempted by the promises of wealth, status, or power? Just as Balaam was warned by the angel, God calls us to stay true to his word, no matter the cost. Let us learn from Balaam's story and remain faithful, obedient, and humble before the Lord, allowing him to guide our every step. If you've allowed the distractions of this world to cloud your vision, now is the time to refocus. Seek God's will above all else and let his truth guide your decisions.